War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. Jena is a small town nestled deep in the heart of central Louisiana. Until recently, you may well never have heard of it. But this rural town of less than 4,000 has become a focal point in the debate around issues of race and justice in this country. Last December, 6 black students at Jena High School were arrested after a school fight in which a white student was beaten and suffered a concussion and multiple bruises. The 6 black students were charged with attempted second-degree murder and conspiracy. They face up to 100 years in prison without parole. The Jena Six, as they've come to be known, range in age from 15 to 17. Just over a week ago, an all-white jury took less than 2 days to convict 17-year-old Michael Bell, the first of the Jena Six to go on trial. He was convicted of aggravated battery and conspiracy charges and now faces up to 22 years in prison. Black residents say race has always been an issue in Jena, which is 85% white, and that the charges against the Jena Six are no exception. The origins of the story can be traced back to early September, when a black high school student requested permission to sit under a tree in the schoolyard where usually only white students sat. The next day, 3 nooses were found hanging from the tree. Democracy Now! Correspondent Jackie Suin has more on the story from Jena.
Black girls over there, black boys right here. Some black people standing right, a couple. All the band geeks right there. White folks under the tree, and then it's like...
Jesse Beard, a freshman in high school and one of the Jena Six, took us to where the nooses were hung.
One day, maybe about the first, second day, we started riding the bus, me and Robert. And we came through it, and I seen something hanging. Then I told Robert, he looked at it, he's like, them nooses right there. He was getting mad, I started getting mad. By the time everybody came, they was trying to cut him down.
Robert Bailey, 17 years old and a safety receiver for the school football team, is another of the Jena Six facing life behind bars. He described his reaction to the nooses.
It was early in the morning, I seen them hanging. I'm thinking the KKK, you know. Hanging nooses, they want to hang somebody. Real nooses, the ones you see on TV, those kind of nooses, the ones that play in the movies, and they were hanging all the people, you know, and that thing dropped, that was kind of nooses. I know it was somebody white that hung the nooses in the tree, you know. I don't know what other way to put it, but, you know, I was disappointed. You know, we do little pranks, you know, toilet paper, that's a prank, you know what I'm saying? Paper all over the square. All the pranks they used to do, that's pranks. Nooses hanging on nooses ain't no prank.
The school superintendent dismissed the nooses as a prank, and after 3 days suspension, the 3 white students who hung the nooses were allowed back to school. Casepla Bailey, Robert's mother, said the school did not inform the parents of the incident.
The school didn't tell me. I didn't know that it happened, so therefore I didn't call to find out what happened on that particular day.
To Casepla Bailey, the meaning of the nooses was clear.
It meant hatred to the other race. It meant that we're going to kill you, you're going to die. You know, it sent a message. This is not the place for you to sit. This is not your damn tree. Do not sit here. You know, you are to remain in your place, know your place, and stay in your place. You're out of your boundaries. And the first thing now that the sheriff department or that the chief of police want to say that, as well as the superintendent, one had nothing to do with the other. Now, come on now.
Most people we spoke to in Jena's white community, however, see no connection between the students' charges and race. Barbara Murphy, the town librarian, claims there isn't a race problem in Jena.
We don't have a race problem. It's not black against white. It's crime. The nooses, I don't even know why they were there, what they were supposed to mean. There's pranks all the time of one type or another going on. And just didn't seem to be racist to me.
A few days after the nooses were hung, the entire black student body staged an impromptu demonstration, crowding underneath the tree during lunch hour. Justin Purvis, the student who first asked to sit underneath the tree, described how the protest came about.
It was like the first beginning, and a couple of them said, y'all want to go stand under a tree? We said yeah. They said if you go, I'll go. If you go, I'll go. So one person went, next person went, everybody else just went.
The school responded to the protest by calling police and the district attorney. At an assembly the same day, the district attorney Reed Walters, accompanied by armed policemen, addressed the students. Substitute teacher Michelle Rogers, one of the few black teachers at the school, was there. She recalls the DA's words to the assembled high schoolers.
The kids didn't say anything. They were listening. The kids were quiet. And so, District Attorney Reed Walters, proceeded to tell those kids that I can end your lives with the stroke of a pen. And the kids was like in awe that District, Reed Walters would tell these kids that. He held a pen in his hand and told those kids that, see this pen in my hand, I can end your lives with the stroke of a pen.
A series of incidents followed throughout the fall. In October, a black student was beaten for entering a private all-white party. Later that month, a white student pulled a gun on a group of black students at a gas station, claiming self-defense. The black students wrestled the gun away and reported the incident to police. They were charged with assault and robbery of the gun. No charges were ever filed against the white students in either incident. Then, in late November, someone tried to burn down the high school, creating even more tension. 4 days later, a white student was allegedly attacked in a school fight. The victim was taken to hospital and released shortly with a concussion. He attended a school function that evening. 6 black students were charged with attempted second-degree murder and conspiracy to commit murder on charges that leave them facing between 20 and 100 years in jail. The defendants, ranging in age from 15 to 17, had their bond set at between $70,000 and $138,000. The attack was written up in the local paper as fact, and DA Reed Walters published a statement in which he said, "When you are convicted, I will seek the maximum penalty allowed by law."
Yes, we have come today to stand against what we consider to be a great evil. We pray that you would be...
Since their arrest, the defendants' families have been speaking out and fighting for the release of their sons. 2 of the 6, including Michael Bell, who was recently convicted, were unable to make bond and have spent close to 7 months in jail to date.
No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace!
Kasepla Bailey began writing letters to state and national agencies, including the Department of Justice, immediately after the charges were filed.
The first thing was devastation. I was down when it first happened. I was very devastated. I was hurt, upset, angry, mad, frustrated. I had so many emotions, crying a lot of nights, trying to figure out where can I go from here. A lot of times when you backed into a corner, you backed into a wall, you come out, naturally you're going to come out fighting. You're either going to fall and die or you're going to come out fighting. I'm just sending out these letters to anyone that would have a listening ear, and to anyone that I thought that would, might help this situation. That's how I fight back, by putting the pen to the paper. They want to take these kids, my son, as well as all these other children, lock them up, throw away the key. That's a tradition for black males. So they want to keep that tradition going because they want to keep institutionalized slavery alive and well.
At a friendly pickup game of football, Kasepla's son Robert shows off the skills that made him a star player of the high school football team. Robert was in jail for over 2 months before his mother was able to raise the money for her son's bond, using 3 pieces of property from different family members. 17-year-old Robert Bailey has no criminal record.
I ain't got no criminal record, nothing. I ain't no probation, community service, or nothing. Nothing like that. DA, he ain't out to find the truth. That's what DA is for, to out to find the truth, of the case. He just, trying to put me up under the jail cell. For you, life. It's just 50 years, they 25 to 100 years. You just say forever. 20 years forever to me.
Robert wasn't the only one with a promising future. All of the Jena Six were athletes, and 5 of the 6 were on the high school football team. Marcus Bell, the father of 17-year-old Michael Bell, has a stack of scholarship offers for his son.
LSU, Southern Miss, Ole Miss, University of New York.
Michael is a star running back and a strong student who is being actively scouted by a number of colleges.
We're not blaming the victim for the charges or none of that. The DA is a racist DA, you know, I'm not calling him out for being a racist. I'm calling him out as being a racist due to his track record. The reason we is taking a stand for our kids for what he's not doing is right, cause, you know, we tired of it. You know, cause if he, you know, we sit down, lay back, and let him railroad our kids too, he gonna continue to do that to black people in this town. You know, so we have to take a stand now. Either somebody take a stand now, if not, he gonna continue to fill the prisons up with black people more and more.
Mr. Bell believes that his son is learning a valuable lesson from this experience.
One of the best lessons that my son could learn, that's one of the best lessons, to know what it is to be black now. You know, if this don't teach him that what it is to be black now, I don't know what will. But he's 17 now. You know, he got a lot of life, you know, ahead of him. And the day he set foot out of jail, I'm gonna tell him. I'm gonna tell him again. You know what it is to be black now. Here it is.
For Democracy Now!, this is Jackie Stewin reporting from Jena, Louisiana.
That piece is from an upcoming feature documentary by Big Noise Films. Michael Bell faces up to 22 years in prison when he's sentenced July 31st. The 5 other students await trials on charges of attempted second-degree murder and conspiracy. They face up to 100 years in jail. When we come back from break, we'll be joined by parents of 3 of the Jena Six, as well as the journalist who broke the story nationally. This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org. Back in a minute.
Southern trees bear a strange fruit, blood on the leaves and blood at the root, black bodies swinging in the southern breeze, strange fruit hanging from the poplar trees. Pastoral scene of the gallant South, the bulging eyes and the twisted mouth, scent of magnolia, sweet and fresh, then the sudden smell